Welcome back to On the Porch. Today's topic, we're going to talk about gatekeeping. There has been a lot of talk in Hollywood about gatekeeping happening in Hollywood, but we all know that gatekeeping happens in everyday people's lives. Would you agree?
Yeah, haters everywhere.
The reason this topic came up is because we saw Monique's recent interview on Club Shay Shay with Shannon Sharp, but over the years, other celebrities have talked about gatekeeping, from Wale to Ice Cube to other celebrities. But we want to talk about gatekeeping in average people's lives. So, sweetheart, some of the everyday gatekeeping that happens in average people's lives happen in jobs, supply chain contracts, real estate, college students with sororities and fraternities, and even products that are sold in retail stores.
Yeah.
So you want to give some insight where you've seen gatekeeping, or you have used it?
Well, I'll say this. I've seen it. I don't know if I really experienced it, because if somebody was really being a good gatekeeper, they don't let you know they're gatekeeping. You know what I'm saying? But, I've definitely seen it. I've definitely seen where people are so protective and so jealous that they won't allow someone to be better than them at anything if the information they could provide might actually help this person, because of their own insecurities and own jealousy and just overall just hate. They would hate to see anyone get past their miserable ass. Even though, that person may have not progressed like they should have, and they've been in a job for 20 years, and they don't like this, this up and comer, even though they could give this person some information, because this person can actually do something with that information, something useful. They're gonna try to gatekeep a little bit, because they're still like, no, that belongs to me. You've been 20 years, you should have had it already. Anyway, stop being a hater. That's just me. Like in work life, there are people who just try to hold information like they paid for it or something. Like it's only they can know, in a few other people. But for what reason? You think that company or that place wouldn't let you go if they had to? You think it was shut down if you wasn't around? No. So get off your high horse. Stop gatekeeping.
Well, that was a little tangent.
Yeah, a little.
A little soapbox.
Poquito.
I have seen gatekeeping. I can't specifically say if it has happened to me. I'm pretty sure it has. Because gatekeeping not only keeps us from excelling, it can also keep us from getting certain jobs. So let's just say my first name, being LaShawn, may have been gatekept. I wasn't a good candidate for the job.
Your name was
based off my name.
Too ethnic.
My name was too ethnic, but who knows? I'm not for sure. I'm just saying. But like I said, I have experienced or seen gatekeeping happen when a person applied for a position and was definitely qualified, had the personality to be in the position, because they also say, are you a good fit? And a lot of times that means not only your qualifications, but also your personality. Are you a good fit to be a team player with everyone on the job?
Yeah.
So this person was definitely a great fit, but because of the supervisor's insecurities and biases, they did not want that candidate. So the supervisor did not succeed. So someone above that person selected a candidate. So it was a great that was a great experience of someone keeping the gatekeeper from gatekeeping.
Right. Yeah. Gatekeeping the gatekeeper.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Supply chain contracts. There are a lot of small businesses, small women-owned businesses, minority businesses that lose out on a lot of contracts that are given to other companies that have inside knowledge or an inside person.
Preferential treatment for whatever reason. It's not always race or whatever, but it could be, that person might be, sliding a little something, a little extra.
I said an inside person.
You never know.
You never know. And they are not given the opportunity to get the contract.
Yeah.
The next one, real estate. So we all are aware of redlining.
Yeah.
That is the biggest gatekeeper.
Yeah. That's a whole separate subject, honestly. But,
yes, it is. But
it is definitely a form of gatekeeping.
Exactly.
And I don't know. I think with that one, it's.
Well, we know what it is. It's part of racism.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it's and gatekeeping. Racism is a part of gatekeeping.
Yeah. I'm just saying that with when it comes to real estate, I think to an extent we kind of expect it. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely gatekeeping. There's definitely gatekeeping involved. But what I'm saying is that's one of those things where we're a little more aware of it happening.
Well, I think some of the people in these, like in HR or inside the offices, do see it happening. Mm-hmm. There's not much they can do about it because if they're not in a position of authority, they can only just go along with it, even though they may not agree with it. They see it.
Right, but I'm not even talking about them. I'm talking about like us, like as consumers. If we're looking for real estate, like that's something that is already conscious in our mind. That like, okay, are we gonna like get denied or something like that because of our ethnicity? Like we're already kind of thinking that way already. Right. When it comes with other things with gatekeeping, it's like you don't expect one of your own people to gatekeep on you because they just hate us. You know what I'm saying? We expect in real estate to be discriminated against a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think that's the difference.
Okay. So let's talk about products that are sold in stores. Mm-hmm. And one of the topics that is being discussed right now in the news is Snoop Dogg and Master P suing Post Cereal and Walmart for allegedly not putting their cereal on the shelves, store shelves in Walmart.
Is Post owned by General Mills or whatever? I don't know.
They all.
General Mills is like one of the biggest companies.
Right. So I think it's an entity of it. Maybe. I'm not sure. But yes.
Yeah, they might lose that case.
Snoop Dogg?
Yeah. There's a lot of power behind it.
Well, yeah, that's another thing. How do you go up against these giants that have been in the business for so long?
I'm not sure what the lawsuit actually is going after or why they took their cereal off the shelves or whatever.
Wait. Hold on, I'm sorry. You say they didn't take their cereal off the shelves. Their cereal never went on the shelf.
Oh, okay. So they had a contract with them already?
They had a contract with them already. They partnered with Post and Walmart.
Right.
And the last time I looked online, it said that Post and Walmart was saying basically because the sales or people wasn't buying it is the reason why their stuff was on the shelves. But according to a lot of videos that were shown, the staff, employees didn't even know the cereal was in stock because of what it was showing on their, you know how when you ask somebody if something in stock, they were saying, well, one person said they didn't see it, but when they went to the back of the store in the warehouse, it was up on the shelf and then another person had all types of videos showing the cereal was not on the shelf, and some of the cereal was even almost a year old, had been sitting in the back for months. Well,
I mean, they got some explaining to do then. Hopefully Snoop Dogg and Master P have a decent lawyer, maybe like
Oh, you
the
want to know who
ghost of Johnny Cochran or something. I don't know. Who
they
they
had?
got?
Ben Crump.
No, they're gonna lose. He an ambulance chaser. They gonna lose. Y'all gonna lose. You got that ambulance chasing ass Ben Crump. That dude ain't won a case yet. Anyway, don't get me on a side tangent about Ben Crump. Ambulance chasing
I wasn't
ass.
even expecting this, y'all. I really didn't.
I've told you before, if anything happens to me, anything racial or something happens to me, and I'm dead, I will come back from the grave and smack the dog shit out y'all for hiring Ben Crump.
Moving on. Okay, that's his personal.
That is solely my opinion.
Okay, but anyway, beauty products. For instance, do you think the owner or founder of Honey Pot, we had this conversation, she partnered with a holding company, a holding company, and they offered her $300 some million along with, I think they have majority stock in her company.
But it didn't say how much.
It didn't say how much. It could be 51, 52, who knows, but majority stock. Do you think that's part of gatekeeping? Because I'm sure they wanted to buy her out, like totally, but she did not accept it from what I read. And they partner and they have a majority stake in her company. So do you feel like that's part of gatekeeping?
Okay, let me give you my full thoughts on this. And I don't know these details, but first thing I need to do is raise my chair back up because I can tell it's falling. Hold on.
You're on the same level.
We ain't the same height.
Yes, that's perfect.
That's better. Anyway.
You see this? You can't be equal.
Anyway.
Can't be equal.
It's going to fall again. So.
You don't want to be short.
So. Here's the deal, right? First, foremost, let me just say this. I know you didn't mention this, but let me just say this. For anyone that thinks the woman sold out, y'all shut the hell up. Like, how are you a sellout for taking $300 million and partial ownership in the company that you already started? Like, how is that selling out? That is the American dream. That is the thing that we have all wanted to achieve, is being able to make that kind of money all at once. Anyway, you don't know what kind of pressure she had to make the move she did. Because if that holding company was willing to give her $300 million and a minority ownership, well, what was the offer they would have made to her board or whatever? Because if she was the owner, there had to be some kind of board or something going on in any company that large where they say, well, look, we either partner with you or we try to buy the company out from under you.
Well, I don't think they could buy the company from under her because I think she's the sole proprietor. Yeah, of that company because she built it.
Okay.
And,
Which means, this still goes to my point, which
Okay.
means she had all the power in this.
Yes, she did.
So if whatever deal she made, she felt like it was a good deal. So, like, I don't feel like it's not a good deal. I don't think it's gatekeeping in any kind of way. I think that this woman had a dream. You don't know, she's been dreaming for this since she was a child. And she got the opportunity. She said, bam, this is it. I made it. And I still get part ownership.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where in the world is that a bad deal? Because obviously, if they pay her $300 million, then yeah, her product is probably worth $1 billion at least to them. Eventually, maybe over 10 years, whatever. I don't know how this deal with the money breaks down, but that is them betting on taking a gamble. They know it could be huge. They might just break even on their money or whatever, and then fire her later or buy the company outright, whatever. Still, up front, she felt like it was a good deal, so it's a good deal. That's just how I would look at it. I don't think there's really any gatekeeping involved. They may, distribute the product in different places than they used to. I'm not sure. Or try to advertise it differently than maybe she wanted to. I don't know.
Well, they may be able to make her go global. Because right now, I know she was in Target and Walmart stores. I'm not sure if she was in other stores, but her target audience was black people. You know, trying to create a product that was natural, organic. Irritations to non-organic products, sanitary products, and there's more to the story where people said it wasn't all natural. Basically said she got this vision or idea from an ancestor. I'm not gonna go into all of that, but
Was it like the Wakanda? Like she saw a leopard in a tree?
I think her ancestor came to her in a dream.
Don't mind me, y'all.
Came to her in a dream and gave her the idea. Well, either way, that ancestor made her a millionaire. So,
To do right by me.
Okay, anyway. Now, let's talk about other products. We talked about Honey Pot. When you got Taraji P. Henson, Tracy Ellis Ross, and I think Beyonce may be coming out with a new product. And I feel like there's a competition between the black-owned products versus the conglomerate of the bigger products like Pantene. You know, do you think they split the market when they come out with this similar products? Or I would say, I'm sorry,
saturate the market. So
not saturate the market. Demographic, when they split their demographic, if they're catering to people that look like them.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. If that's the audience you're going for, it depends on what kind of sales you're looking at and what you're looking for. So if, let's just say it's me and you start your own little line, right? And you're like, man, I just hope to one day make $1 million a year profit. If you have a good product and you got a good business plan, I guess I can't say that's unreasonable. If that's what you're satisfied with, then fine. I think the problem is that we measure other people's success based on what we think it ought to be, not what they think it is. So I'm saying all that to say this. Whatever Taraji's doing or Tracy Ellis Ross or Beyonce, it's as successful as they feel like it is, as long as they're making money off it. So let's say Taraji's product, grosses, I don't know, $30 million a year or whatever. So she makes a couple $1 million in profit altogether. But Beyonce's is like, she's making $1 billion a year. And they're like, oh, look, Taraji's product ain't shit. No, that don't mean that.
I don't think that's my question.
Well, hold on. So what I'm saying is, like, yes, they can all target the same people and make different levels of money. But as long as they feel like they're doing good, that's all that matters.
But my question was, is it keeping? It's not keeping that one person from generating revenue, because I feel like they're competing with one another and not the actual goal of competing with someone big as Pantene or someone big as Garnier.
Like,
I think that's
well, I mean, that's the same
because
in any industry.
just,
like there's that's like saying that like somebody who makes a board game, who's got a decently successful board game, they're like, I can't compete with Parker Brothers in Monopoly. Yes, you can. Like you just have a niche, and like you're gonna make money in that niche.
Right. So what I'm saying is they're there, but I think they're more so competing with themselves, with each other versus the conglomerate. I'm not saying it's not healthy. I'm just saying they're splitting the demographic. Whereas I'm not saying you can't only have one person, doing this product or selling this item. But if you're specifying it to be a certain demographic, you're splitting the cost. Yeah, somebody's going to get a bigger pot depending on your product. If your product, like you said, is a niche and people want it. And just let's say that you both make the same thing. Like Rihanna has makeup and Beyonce comes out with a makeup. Depending on who's better, it doesn't matter if Beyonce comes out with another product. If Rihanna is confident in what she's selling, and she already has a fan base, they're committed. They're they're dedicated. But I'm just saying, do we split the demographic?
Yeah, I mean, you do, but this is a world of imitators. So like, if let's say they're all focused on, let's just narrow it down. Let's say their audience is black women, right?
Yeah.
Well, one of them started out by selling like hair products and makeup, right? Another one does something that has to do with like nails or, whatever, shit like that. And, the third one, who has like the smallest business, has like some revolutionary heel scraper. All right. Well, she might be killing it in the heel scraper business. You know what I'm saying?
The
Like,
fact that you said heel scraper.
yeah.
But I just thought, I'm like,
Scrape your crusty ass heels, right? So
oh.
make them nice and smooth. And she might be killing it. Well, then guess what? Beyonce's line that sells hair and makeup be like, and we also got a heel scraper. And they gonna call it something else. Heel scraper 2000 or some shit.
I like the fact that you're using women and you didn't come up with a men idea.
Because I said primarily women.
Okay,
so,
go ahead.
Men
needs heel scraping too.
Right. That's why she's killing it though. Because everybody uses it. So, and not only is it like it'll scrape white. So here's the thing. Not only would a heel scraper scrape a black person's feet, it'll scrape a white person's feet. So it's non-discriminatory.
Exactly.
Right. So hold on. Because what I'm saying is, listen, hear me out.
Hear you out.
So let's say that's Taraji's product, heel scraper. Primarily black women are going to be on it because they know Taraji, right?
Okay.
She can be the face or whatever. Maybe she be the face, but scrape them heels, and eventually people are going to catch on. Like if it's a really good product, like anybody can use it.
Exactly.
So it'll spread. But let's say, Beyonce, whoever, they're selling makeup primarily targeted towards black and brown women, right? Well, that don't translate to white women.
Okay. So you're saying that heel scraper is not going to go as far as Taraji because Taraji started off with the heel scraper and she didn't cater to one demographic. Her heel scraper doesn't discriminate, like you said,
right? And
it reaches more people,
right?
Versus this product who started off with one demographic.
Right. So and that other product might be huge, might be big,
right?
Because it's a bigger thing. But like Taraji's product is slowly creeping into other demographics, and now the other people taking note, like, oh, we need our own heel scraper. It's a world of imitators. So like, yeah, they are kind of splitting the demographic a bit, but as long as they try to distinguish themselves, if they're all selling the same shit, then like, who am I supposed to buy? Whatever, it's any, meeny, miny, mo, whatever.
You may not do it any, meeny, miny, mo. You may have some people say, hey, Taraji's heel scraper is the bomb. I have not had an issue with it. It does a great job. It's not cutting you. Blah blah blah.
And then you find out it's made by slave children in Africa. Like you have to find a way. I'm just saying you got to find a way to distinguish. So what I'm saying is, if
many people that find out the product was made by minimum wage or slave children, they stop buying it. Only a few. I'm not gonna say not all.
All I'm saying is, if you find out Beyonce's makeup is like, they got huge farms of moths, and it's just moth dust in them little cases that you spreading all over your face. Butterfly wing dust. And you might be like, I ain't putting that shit on my face. So they just got to distinguish themselves.
Well,
like,
she has moth dust. I'm pretty sure there would be a lot of lawsuits. Okay.
It was probably. I think they used to use like moth and like butterfly wing dust or whatever. I don't know.
Wing dust, little fairy dust sprinkled on your face, and you glow. You like
glistening. Look at you, like you fly away. Your heels are nice and smooth.
The biggest thing that I think we as black people, like you were saying before, when we find out the gatekeeper look like us, and you're trying to wrap your head around, well, why are they gatekeeping us? Why would someone do that who look like us, knowing how hard it is for us to get in certain spaces anyway? Why would someone do that? And that reminds me of Django Unchained. When you got Steven, who is the house slave, gatekeeping, keeping everybody in control, making sure they don't upset Calvin. And you have those same people out here in everyday life gatekeeping their own people.
It's true. As I said before to you, we've had this conversation, and It's just, I think it's bred into us because it was advantageous for slave masters to have a Stephen on, not me, a Stephen
Oh, that's
on staff that's going to tell on everybody, is going to do everything the master say. It was advantageous to have that, and they encouraged it, and they discouraged anything other than that. So I think it's just in some of our blood to just be natural
so
born
it's just
haters.
been flowing through.
Some of us just haters. You can't stand to see another brother get ahead or get over. You can't stand it. You can't stand it. And here's the thing. I get when people just getting over just like because like it's hard to explain. So
Yes, because
there's the people who
like
get
it.
over because they always trying to get like they never want to just do something right. And they want to just be straight about anything. And then there's the people who just kind of getting over because like they've been taking advantage of themselves and just trying to get a little get back.
So
but,
you're talking about the scammers. The scammers who always
and not even
scamming.
scammers, just people who always
No,
looking
that's
for
a scammer.
That's not a scam. I'm talking about people who's always looking for an angle.
Okay.
They're always looking for like some kind of angle, some kind of way to get over a little bit. It doesn't necessarily make them a scammer, but they always looking for a way to get over. Them people, they're annoying. They're annoying. Like, why are you always looking for a way to get over? Stop that shit. Like, them the same ones, and the same people, right? Mm-hmm. Who'll be like, why don't we have, more black-owned this in the communities and blah, 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 blah. But as soon as somebody open a black-owned place, you want to hook up. Right.
Oh, yes.
You want a damn discount.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, oh, yes, my cousin, he opened a restaurant.
Your cousin
don't owe you a fucking discount. Did you help him open it? Did you invest in it? His price is his price. Like, pay his price.
Right. Because you're saying basically, if you went into a white establishment or any other race establishment, you're not even asking for a hookup. You're not, can I get some on the low? You're going to throw in the dessert?
Right.
Free of charge.
Hook me and my boys. Like, what are you doing? Why do we do that?
Yeah.
Why do we do that?
Why are you taking away
right.
from someone who's trying to build, who has actually put their hard-earned money into starting a business, and now you want something for free or you want a discount? Yeah.
So, anyway.
So that leads me to the crabs in the bucket mentality. I have some reluctancy to crabs in a bucket mentality. And the reason why, I feel like...
What, reluctancy of what? To what? Like saying it or...
the saying of it? The meaning of it, and how we as people use that to identify people's behavior as crabs in a bucket. Because to me, whenever I seen crabs, their ass was getting out the bucket.
Yeah, they was all trying to get out. But they do be grabbing on each other though.
They grab on each other, but let me use my theory behind that. If you put a bunch of people in a bucket, people standing on your shoulders, on your head, on your back, and you all down here at the bottom, are you going to tell me you're not going to have any type of frustration, anger, bitterness, because these people are standing on you and you're hurting because you're at the bottom of the barrel? Mm-hmm. Okay, so if I'm trying to get out and I'm reaching up, pulling, trying to get myself out of the situation, not saying I'm trying to pull you down. I'm saying you've been standing on me for hours and this shit hurts.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get out too, but I'm not trying to pull you back because I only have claws. I got to grab onto something, as with my hands. I have to grab onto something to pull myself out.
But you know why that is?
Why is that?
Because crabs don't reach back down to pull their buddies up. That's the problem. So I totally get what you're saying. There's two parts to this.
Okay.
If everyone's down in that bucket, in that hole or whatever, and there's people being, stand on your shoulders and whatnot, well, if everyone just helped the people get out, like they could all help each other get out. But the problem is, the reason that like the crabs in a barrel thing makes sense to me is because when a crab does get out, it ain't reaching back down and grabbing nobody.
He can't get back in the bucket.
It ain't reach. Well, and
he's on the ground. Hold on. No. Stop for a minute. If you're down on the ground, you don't let go. You're down here on the ground. Mm-hmm. How the hell am I going to get you back out if I don't have a rope? I don't have a ladder to crawl my ass up, reach over without falling into.
This is
Hold
where
on,
you're adding something to
I'm not
the
adding
scenario.
anything. I'm saying once you jump off the bucket, you jump off the cliff. You didn't have a rope to let you down. You didn't shimmy down. Rappel down and all of that. So tell me.
So
Help me
what
understand.
I'm saying is, when the crab is like at the top, it's got like the little four legs and the claw over the side of the pot. That crab ain't reaching down to help pull nobody up. They have to grab the crab to try to help themselves out. And that's why I'm saying that like our mentality is like that, because too often, now I'm not saying this doesn't happen. Like, there are a lot of people that get out of the situation. They do move up. They do move ahead. And they do try to help people out. But there are those gatekeepers out there that they get to the top of the pot and they're like, man, forget y'all. I'm out. Jumping over. They gone now. They can't come back and help if they wanted to.
Okay, so if that crab, let's just say this, that crab was in that bucket. And once it started finding its way to shimmy up and get out, what's stopping the next crab from doing the same thing?
Well, here's the thing. There's lack of education, being a hater, where like they don't want to do the work. So that crab had to work to get his ass out of there.
That's all I'm saying.
So they don't want to work. They don't want to do this work that crab did. They want that crab to help them out.
Okay, so that's it. I feel like.
Hold on. But here's the other thing. That crab sometimes may have done the work to get out, and it's now like, well, I worked, so you need to work. So I'm not helping your ass out. When there's one that's trying to work and it just barely can't make it, and it can't get a helping hand from the one that did make it.
It's that one up there to help. Because we keep talking about once that crab got off, like when he let go of the bucket to get on the ground.
Oh, he gone. They gone now.
Hold on. But I watched the crab get out of this cooler. He worked his way up. When he got over, he was hanging on the outside just to get on the outside. He had to get up there, and then he kind of, I guess, worked his way to hold himself. There was nobody else over there trying to get out yet. And then one that was trying to get out a couple of seconds later was on the other side of the bucket trying to get out, get their way out. Now, are you saying that I'm supposed to hang here until someone decides they want to work to get up and get out?
No, you ain't got to hang out. But
okay.
And now this is where this whole analogy falls apart, because crabs, they ain't humans, so they're not coming back.
And they're not thinking like we think either way, because I'm pretty sure their brain is not the same.
We're just talking about the immediate of the crabs in a pot or barrel or cooler, and they're trying to get out.
Okay.
They're trying to escape their situation.
Okay.
All right. One manages to reach up. It might be a big old Jimmy reaches up and is able to kind of try to pull herself out.
Right.
And the other ones are reaching up to grab at him.
Yes.
Because like they just naturally, they're going to grab stuff and pull it back.
Are they grabbing him? Because
I'm not saying they're doing it maliciously. It's the nature of a crab. That's why this phrase is even around. It's just the nature of them. Like, they reach up and grab stuff. When we're fishing, what do? They reach up and grab our shit.
Right. And I also saw that one didn't actually reach over there to grab the other one that was crawling out the bucket because it wasn't touching it. I feel like when a crab actually gets touched.
Oh, yeah. Start snapping.
Yes. Yeah. So that's the grab. And so I think it's misconstrued that the crab is trying to pull the other crab down.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's thinking that the crab is just trying to pull the other crabs down. It's just their nature. So that's why they use it for that, like that saying. It's not like they're malicious. Oh, one's trying to get out, let's get him back. No, they don't think like that. It's just their nature. They just start grabbing that stuff.
So I feel like that's not I don't feel like that.
I think it's pretty accurate.
Analogy. No. Because I look at it differently. The way you look at it is that's their natural thing. They just go and they're pulling the stuff down. Yeah. How do you know they're not grabbing to be pulled up and it's not, and there are too many on that one grab?
I don't know that. I'm just saying that the analogy.
I feel like the analogy is being used one-sided.
Yeah, it's a negative analogy. So yeah, it is being used one-sided. I'm just saying it's not totally inaccurate.
I guess not totally, but I just feel like it's used to just make people think that someone is definitely trying to pull them down. And when that crab is trying to get out, escape, as you said, you're trying to escape your situation. And so you are in dire need to get out and do everything possible to get out. And once you get up to the top, you look back, there's no one there but you. I can't stand here and hang around until someone decides. I may get caught and get thrown back.
Yeah.
So once I let go and fall to the side, I hope I don't fall to my death, I'm out the bucket. I'm gone. It's not that I'm not trying to help my other fellow peers or whoever was in the bucket with me. I got an opportunity to escape, just like with a person in jail, in prison. They trying to escape. If you get caught, I ain't about to sit here and say, hey, don't, I'm over here. No, they gonna hide, be quiet, and run away. Do you fault that person for not saying hey, I escaped? You caught that person?
No, I think that with this whole analogy, the one, if when we're talking about gatekeepers, the one other way that this kind of is related about the crabs is that Black people may not, and I'm talking about Black people right now, like we may not do something overt to hold someone back that's trying to get ahead, but we might do stuff that's just, in hindsight, like really detrimental. So someone opens a shop, a store, a restaurant, starts selling a product, and then like, cause you know, like, we like to gossip a little bit. Mm-hmm. And they go like, oh yeah, you know, such and such, you got this restaurant, and you know they had mice in there. Like whether I'm talking about, it could have been the previous owner or something. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Or like, yeah, they charge too much for their food. I ain't going there. Like you just start spreading bad. Like keep that shit to yourself. If you don't like it, don't like it. You ain't gotta tell other people they ain't gotta like it. Let them go.
Is that gatekeeping?
Yeah.
Cause you putting out.
Yeah, cause why you hating on them? Why you hating on them? Unless you went there and got sick. I mean, I get it, but. Especially somebody you don't really like you just start talking shit about them and just hating on them. Right? Just let them people live.
Okay, so that ties back to when Monique was talking about the two celebrities and saying one lied on her, saying she was difficult. Mm-hmm. So that's gatekeeping because that person put that lie out there.
Because it's a very powerful person.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's use the other one with Mike Epps and Shannon Sharp. When Shannon came back and said, you're a liar. Hey, look, I never said that. So you want to put this rumor out here, not a rumor, this lie out here that I was actually talking to you and asked you something and I didn't.
Yeah, so, okay. There's two parts that's wrong with what Mike Epps said in his little stand-up, right? You gonna make a joke, fine. If the joke has some untruth in it, it needs to be a better joke, number one. Like it needs to be a funnier joke and more well thought out and more clever than the way he said it. Not only that, you added a whole bunch of like gay stuff in it. That was kind of irrelevant to this whole conversation to begin with. So as a man, like Shannon Sharp, like I know I would feel the same way. Like first of all, like you're gonna start out with the lie, and then you're gonna attach the lie to something that is wholly untrue about me. The problem with that is Mike Epps' audience didn't know it was a lie. All right? So to them, he's telling the truth. And if he's telling the truth about the messages, that means maybe he's telling the truth about the gay stuff he's saying. So it lends credence to like the other lie, which is why it's so infuriating for somebody like Shannon Sharp. Like, hold on, first of all, you lied and people think you're telling the truth. Right. And then you added the lie to something that is untrue. I would have said the same thing Shannon Sharp said. Like, when I see you, there's going to be a problem. You got to explain it. And then Mike Epps come back. Oh, man, he mad about that. Fool. Like, what are you talking? Like, what brother you know wouldn't be mad about that? Like, who would be cool with what you did? Like, stop that shit, man. Did I go on a tangent?
No.
Okay, I'm just saying, like.
I mean, because I understand his point of view and Shannon's point of view. He had kids, he got grandkids, he got family, and they're like, well, where is this coming from? Because you're not just attacking him, you're attacking his kid's father. You're attacking someone's brother, someone's child, and just to get laughs. to get clicks, to get views.
And it wasn't even that. It was like somebody just recording at a show. You know, so like that might not ever have gotten out. But he said it.
Yeah, he
And
said
to
it.
his audience, and his audience would be going around, spreading it around and whatnot. Yeah,
Right.
don't do that. Don't do that.
And then he told Shannon just to go with it. He was like, no.
Right.
Why
Go
would I
with it.
go with
What are
that?
you talking about?
You're lying and saying that I said something. You know, that's his, you know, that's basically questioning my character.
Yeah.
So I agree. You know, some people take it too far. Take it too far and then put a person in a situation they never thought they would be in based off a lie you're saying.
Yeah.
The same way Monique was talking about Tyler Perry saying she was difficult. And a lot of people never complained or said she was difficult to work with until he made that statement. And she lost work. That's the thing. When you're gatekeeping to people, you're affecting people's livelihoods. You know, they're not able to feed their family. They're not able to get certain jobs. They're being blackballed. And that happens in average people's lives. Once you have an issue with a supervisor and you go somewhere else and they have to call that supervisor for a reference, that supervisor can keep you from getting that job. Unless the person who's hiring you feel that you are more qualified based off them talking to you, getting a feel and see if you're a good fit, can tell that, oh, it may have been that supervisor and not you.
Yeah.
But that doesn't always happen. They definitely sometimes just go by what that previous supervisor said about you and then never call you back. You get that email saying,
thanks but no thanks.
Basically. So it seems that a lot of gatekeepers tend to favor power, status, and they have personal insecurities from what you were saying before. Because, like I said, insecurity about people you have those insecurities about that are within yourself. Like, say, if you view this person as, oh my gosh, she's too pretty to hire. What does that have to do with anything about her doing the job? If she's pretty, she's pretty. Has nothing to do with her qualification, what she brings to the table, if she's an asset or not. When you're talking about someone's weight or the color of their skin, their background, none of that plays a part in what that person brings to the table.
But it depends on the job. So
what, the weight?
Yeah.
Okay, so specify, because
and even like,
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a weight thing in there. If you're not
even color. So I don't want to say that it's not a thing. That what you're saying is wrong. I'm just saying there are specific instances where, like, if you're hiring a guy to be like the, I don't know, neighborhood ambassador for like a black neighborhood or whatever, but you hire like a young white dude, might not be the best idea. You understand what I'm saying? Or if you're hiring somebody you need somebody that can.
Is there a justifiable reason?
The justifiable reason is like this person doesn't represent that neighborhood.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. So
that's
what I'm saying, a justifiable reason that if somebody who has to be able to perform physically in a certain job may not be able to be like morbidly obese. And that person might be like, well, you discriminate against me. No, the job description says you need to do A, B, C, and D. And we have a test here. If you can't do this test, then you can't get hired.
Well, so if you allow them to do the test and they fail the test, they would know that they were not capable of doing the job. Not just looking at me and saying, I can't do the job. Yeah. They allowed the person to come in to take the test so they don't get sued based off their own.
I mean, true. I just know that, like, if I'm hiring if I'm hiring a mascot for a basketball team, and this dude is like 390 pounds come walking in there, and I need this dude to be able to dunk a basketball. No. Like, what are you trying out for?
You're
That's
discriminating.
discriminating. I know, but that's like common sense. Like what?
No.
I need you. This
You
dude's
cannot.
5'2"
It doesn't
and
matter. It doesn't matter. If the
350
person
pounds.
applied for the position, you're not discriminating. You're just basically saying to this, you selected someone else. You went with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Now they was like, well, you discriminated against me because of my weight and everything. No, I did not discriminate against your weight. I felt like this person was more qualified and for the position.
Okay.
I did not discriminate
Okay.
because
I can say okay. I'm just saying that
because let's just say if you had a whole slew of candidates that were all over the weight that you wanted to see, you have to either you're going to be like most supervisor and say you didn't have any qualified candidates, so
I'm just
you
saying,
want to start over, or you put them through a rigorous training, a trial training, and if whoever makes it moves on to the next. Okay.
Fair enough.
This is why the world the way it is. If you're at
the world is the way it is because people are too sensitive. If you're trying out to be the cheerleader, what's the cheerleader the one that gets thrown up in the air?
Well, in my day, it was called a topper.
Okay, so if some
I get
sizable women are trying to be the toppers, and you don't want to break all the dudes' arms, like
no. In high school, we had no dudes.
Okay, well, I'm just saying. Well, even a female.
I get it, and I understand what you're saying because I was a topper.
Okay, that's all I want to say.
And our base was more
the thicker girls. Well, ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm saying the thicker girls were the stronger ones.
The stronger ones, yeah, they were not really thick like you said.
I'm not saying that they were thicker than you, right?
Yes, I was also probably 4'8".
All I'm saying
so
is
I was short,
the little ones were the toppers, and the bigger ones.
I was 4'8", and I was under 100 pounds.
Okay,
you're saying it makes sense to have me as a topper than a base because if you put us as the base,
picks down there,
a bunch of toothpick, and someone who's bigger than us, we go to throw them. We more than likely would not be able to catch them. So I understand your logic.
Discrimination?
No, we were on the team.
Not.
No. We were on
common
the team.
sense.
We were on the team.
Right.
That's the difference.
But I'm just saying. All I'm saying is not discrimination. If the coach is like, "No, you can't be a topper. You're discriminating me because of B." No, this is physics. This is not discrimination. It's physics.
Yes, that is physics. So yes, it's physics, and I totally understand. I totally agree. But like I said, we're all on the team, so physics played a part in why there were toppers and base, and why we were all different sizes. Okay, so that makes sense. That's different than you having a slew of oversized people, and you're like a failed interview process is what they call it. Okay, anyway, what are other reasons and biases that you think plays a part? Is power. I feel like once people get in a position of power, they turn into a whole different person. For instance, when you're talking about people who want to go into politics, and when they start, before they get to becoming a senator, congressman, or whatever, they are gung-ho about change. They want to work for their people. They want to fight for their people. They want to support their people. But once they get that level of power, something shifts. And you've seen it a lot.
Some people just get, mad with power. You give them the little enchanted clipboard, and they just feel like they're on top of the world. And some of it is like a lack of any kind of authority in their own life, maybe throughout their life. A lack of leadership skills, not knowing how to be a humble leader, which that's a lot of it, honestly.
Yeah.
A lot of people just want to lead and don't like to follow, but not realizing that you can't be a decent follower, you can't be a good leader, because you can't relate to your subordinates. And they just start tripping. You get a little power tripping, the actual power tripping.
Yeah, and we've seen it. You find some of them in the military.
everywhere. They're
Police,
everywhere.
yeah, everywhere. I've seen it firsthand. It's just like, why? And then some people have the title, but they have no power. Or their
Yeah.
power is to keep the people, the higher ups want to keep in a certain place.
Right.
And it's they're gatekeeping. They're walking around to make sure you're doing what you're supposed to. You don't question the boss. You don't ask the boss any question. It comes to me, and if I feel like he needs to hear or she needs to hear it, then I'll tell him. But if not, take your little self back over there and sit down in that little
Yeah.
box.
Yeah. I don't. Those people are just annoying. Like, just do your job. Do your job. Just be a decent leader. Learn that first. Learn leadership skills. Don't be a boss. Be a leader. It's different.
Oh, that is great. And what do you consider to be a leader? I know you gave a example the other day about your sergeant who.
So, I learned this year. This is back in 96, 97, maybe. And I had a sergeant at my old squad sergeant. He got moved somewhere else anyway. He was a piece of shit. But anyway.
Is that the one I saw that I didn't like?
No, I don't think you ever met him.
Okay.
I don't think you ever met him.
I like a couple.
So I got the new sergeant, Sergeant Porter. He'll never see this video, but if you do, I can't find this dude. But I owe you some thanks. So anyway, he was hard on me because I had a bad example. Like my first maybe 6 months in the Army, I had a bad example of a sergeant, and I picked up a lot of bad habits. So Sergeant Porter didn't give me any slack. Now he was like my dad. This dude didn't give me any slack. And I used to always be like, man, Sergeant Porter, like, why are you so hard on me? Like, you always trying to get me to be like you. This dude was sharp. Like, he was always on it. He was always on time. He was sharp. He knew everything. And his words were, I don't want you to be like me. I want you to be better than me. And that stuck with me because this dude actually made me like a really good private. Like, I was really good at my job, before I got promoted. And I owe him that because, like, I didn't have that mindset at the time. And that's what taught me that, like, you can be a humble leader. This dude lived in the barracks. Most of the other sergeants lived outside the barracks. Where he lived in the barracks, he wasn't flashy. He just did his job and he stayed quiet. And he was just a really good leader because he led by example. His example was like, you do the work to perfection. And when you do the job that you're supposed to do, I'm going to reward you the way I feel is necessary. So, like, yeah, he let us off early. Like, this dude would always look out for us as long as we did everything we were supposed to do. And like, I learned a lot from that. So a leader is different from a boss. A boss just want to boss you. And they just want to be able to, tap that clipboard and do whatever and say whatever and then go take their hour and a half break and bullshit around. A leader ain't like that.
Nope. A leader is there when the team needs that person. A leader is not the one who comes in late, leave early.
Yeah.
A leader is not the one who doesn't work on Fridays. A leader is the one who's the first to get there, last to leave, to make sure no one's behind needing something. Because if they do need something, they are there to help. That's what a leader does.
It's ultimately the leader's job to make sure the job gets done.
And you can't make sure the job get done.
You ain't there.
But a boss the work will still get done because you're being boss to do it. Mm-hmm. And you're doing things that that is not in your role to do. But what else can you do? Because a lot of people are out here in these jobs doing 2 and 3 jobs because they're being bossed to do it.
And the boss type of person to say, like, don't do as I say, do as I don't do as I do as I say. Like, that's what a boss would say.
Yeah.
Not a leader.
So the last trait is status. And I'm not gonna say that's a trait because it's a behavior or it's a part of a status group you want to be a part of. So I guess a trait would be acceptance.
Maybe belonging in a certain group and you want to keep other people out of that group. And You start gatekeeping people that you don't want to achieve the status that you've achieved. That's just, to me, that's just all hating. It's all hating. Hate, hate, hate. Most notorious haters on this side of the Mississippi.
Yo, hating ass.
Yeah, hating ass.
So, yeah, status. I know there are some people who are in, high level of status. You wouldn't even know it because they act like regular people.
Yeah.
They're not trying to showboat. Because what I have learned is don't flex. Let the person think you have nothing. Because it's none of their business what you have anyway. So you can appear to not have something, or you can be that person like, I'm going to keep what I have because I'm not trying to be flashy. I have no reason to live in these certain spots. I have no reason to spend this type of money on something that's I'm not going to be able to keep, or I don't want to pass it down.
Or has no actual
value. Exactly.
I don't need the biggest car and newest, shiniest rims to show off when I drive up to work. Like, so what? What does that mean?
I don't need a big ring. I don't need jewelry. I mean, here in Ecuador, I don't wear jewelry. I have no need to. And it's crazy how you buy into this stuff when we was in the U.S. Like, I want a diamond wedding ring. I want this ring. I want this. I want a diamond bracelet. I want diamond earrings.
For what?
It doesn't make me. And yes, oh yeah, I can buy it just to show that I can afford it. But it's a waste. It's literally in a jewelry box now, not being worn. And then it attracts the wrong attention.
Yeah. If you see us flexing, it's because we're in a country that you ain't never been to. Yeah. What are some other gatekeeping, hating ass stuff you done seen in your life? If anyone watches this, leave a comment.
Well, that wraps up our topic today. That wraps up our video. Please join us next time on the porch. Please
like, share, and subscribe.
Until next time, bye.